I had the impression that ministry was a man's job. After all, patriarchy ruled the day. More on that in Chapter 3. But historians like Shetterly have left me wondering, what stories have not been told, perhaps once known, but later lost and forgotten? I've come to learn over the past 20 years that the New Testament does testify to the roles and impact of many women, if only we pay attention. But I didn't always think that way. When I began reading the Bible as a teenager, I attended a church where men stood up front and led the church service. Only men served as elders, and only men could preach the Word of God. In college, I participated in parachurch ministries that had male-only campus directors, in some cases as a policy. I took for granted that this is the way things should be in the church, and that this reflects what is in the Bible. Men are leaders, women are followers and supporters. At first, I didn't really question any of this because it was so deeply ingrained in the church and ministry cultures I was in at the time, and also because it could be reinforced by appealing to the fact that Jesus was a man, the disciples were all men, and the Bible said women couldn't teach or have authority in the church, didn't it? So, for about the first decade of my Christian faith, I was content with the assumption that the church is for everyone to attend and participate in, but should be led by men because that's the way it's always been according to the good book. Then I went to seminary. No, seminary didn't turn me liberal. I learned the biblical languages, Greek, Hebrew, Aramaic, and I was trained and challenged to study the Bible and its world in depth. And it opened up a three-dimensional world where I had experienced before only a two-dimensional one. Before, I had been unconsciously constructing a theology of gender where men lead, women support, on the basis of a handful of biblical texts and a few observable patterns: male Israelite priests, male disciples. But the tools I acquired in seminary equipped me to look more comprehensively at the Bible in its time, culture, and environment. And I began to see the women that were there all along, just like the women of NASA in the 20th century, but to whom I hadn't paid much attention. These women leaders of the early church are more than just extras on the set of the gospel drama. They are often key characters.